Hello everybody, KY Prepper 5 here. I'm going to bring a little bit different video today. What got me thinking about this video was a few weeks ago I was watching Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, and Doug was talking about how he was seeing a lot of coyote activity around his homestead now that his sheep are lambing. And then about the same time, Appalachia's Homestead with Patera was talking about people having food storage, and well, I've got enough food to do me until my garden comes in the fall. And she mentioned, well, what happens if a raccoon gets into your chicken house and kills your hen and steals your eggs, or eats all your corn, and then where are you? So there's you can try to guard your stuff, but one thing that's very effective, and I'm going to talk about 4 traps that I think every homestead and prepper should have on hand. The good thing about traps is, of course, they hunt 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. First one I want to talk about is your standard box trap, cage trap. You want one that's big enough, of course, to catch a raccoon or a possum. This one I did modify a little bit. I added hardware cloth at the back part where you put your bait at. The holes in these traps are fairly large, and a raccoon can reach in from the outside and reach in there and pull your bait over to the edge here and just sit outside and eat your bait and never have to enter the trap. But by putting this hardware cloth here, they can't reach in there and do that. And then that way they have to enter the trap to get the bait. The next trap I'd like to talk about is what we call a DP, or dog-proof trap. Some people call them coon cuffs. They're very effective for catching raccoons and possums and skunks. They're simple to use. You just set the trap here, lock that in the notch. It's got a little trigger inside there. Pour a little bit of dry cat food or the bait of your choice in the bottom of the trap there, just enough to cover the trigger so that when they reach down inside there to get the bait, they pull up on the trigger, the trap closes, and it holds them right by the hand, and they'll be there waiting on you when you come back to check them. You can stake this down with a piece of rebar, or you can tie it off with a piece of wire, take some fence staples and staple it off to a tree or next to your chicken house or whatever. And like I said, those are very effective. They're simple to use, and I would recommend you have probably 4 to 6 of these on hand. I know in previous years I've had the raccoons just totally demolish my sweet corn patch, and I believe a raccoon's the only thing that likes sweet corn better than me. And what they'll do is they'll get in that patch of corn when it starts getting ready. They'll climb up a stalk and actually peel the shuck back on the ear, and if it ain't no good, ain't ripe yet, they climb back down and they'll move over to the next one, and they just keep checking them until they find the ones that are ripe, and they eat those, and then the ones they peeled open, of course, is damaged and no good either. For the last 2 years, I've been putting these dog-proof traps around the perimeter of my garden, and I've been catching the coons before they eat the corn. I put them out starting about the time the corn starts to tassel good, and for the last 2 years we've had plenty of sweet corn and no coon damage. The next trap I like to talk about is your standard steel foothold trap, and these are easy to use. There is a learning curve to them. There's plenty of videos out there on YouTube on how to set these, but they're very effective on coyotes and foxes and bobcats. This is a Duke 550 Pro. They're ready to go out of the box, and they're a very cost-effective trap compared to some of the others. They're good quality and they work real well. You do need some more tools and things to use these versus the cage traps and the dog-proof traps, but if you're wanting to keep the coyotes and stuff away from your lambs and your other livestock, you can set these out on the perimeter and catch those before they get to your livestock. So standard steel foothold trap. The next traps I'd like to talk about is your just standard old Victor mouse traps and rat traps. Everybody should have these on hand. If you've got any food storage or you've got animal feed around, more than likely you've attracted rodents, and this is a good way to keep them under control. You can set these in the areas of your food storage or where your feed storage is and catch those mice and rats. And of course you can reuse these, you don't have to throw them away, and they're very effective and very cheap compared to other methods. I'd like to thank everybody for watching this video. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button. Please comment below if there's something you would add or take away from this, and please subscribe. Thanks for watching.